So that leads me to an interesting thing that I do to really gain clarity on a day-to-day basis. A little tip that somebody passed me once, I didn't really think much of it, but over time as I've been using this, it's been making things go a lot smoother. It's the idea of mind dumping. The idea is that have a little notepad or little journal or little notebook, like a little scrapbook. Dump all your ideas in, thoughts in, even to-do lists, anything that you can keep onto paper that you don't need to have floating around in your head. And putting all just the act of putting this stuff down on paper itself helps just to clear your mind up, so you don't have to feel like, oh, you have to keep a mental note of, oh, I have to remember to do this, or I have to do this, or make this phone call, or wait, I need to speak to a lab technician about this, or I need to remind myself before I leave today I need to do this. I know it sounds a little bit like a to-do list, but I think of it more like a little scrapboard, little jotter book or something like that. Just the act of putting everything down, keeping your mind clear, it helps so much. Sometimes we wake up and you've got a million things to do and you're trying to orientate everything in your head like some sort of a mental calendar, mental to-do list. It never seems to work because as you're trying to focus on one thing, your mind at the back is now and then popping by saying, hey, did you remember to do this? Or have you added this to your list? Or make sure you don't forget about this. Just things like that. So mental mind dumping, something that I try to do. And instead of having a little scrap piece of paper, try and keep a little book, like a little journal, so you can kind of scroll back at the end of the day to revisit if you've done everything on a reflection basis weekly. Like, oh, this is what we went through this week, and this was the thought pattern, and did we get this done, and what we could do next. So it's like almost like a working diary, scrapbook. And heard one person once name it mind dumping, and that kind of always stuck with me, the idea of mind dumping that I wanted to share. So yeah, get to it, mind dumping.